We're talking to Robb Harleston on the C-SPAN assignment desk. Robb, it's coming down pretty hard out there, a few inches already today on Wednesday morning. On a typical Wednesday, how many events would we have been looking at covering today?
For today, usually we'll be looking at anywhere from 10 to 15 events either on Capitol Hill or off the Hill. Today we're looking at 4 Senate hearings for tomorrow. So far all the off-Hill events that we might have considered have all been canceled. So now it's just a matter of trying to establish contact with the press secretaries for the various committees and see if their hearings are in fact going to be going on tomorrow.
How has the weather posed challenges in reaching out to those committees and staying on top of what's on, what's off, what's postponed, what's canceled?
The weather itself hasn't posed any problems as far as maintaining contact with the press secretaries, because by now we have all of their email addresses, cell phone numbers. Most of them like to stay in touch via BlackBerry. There are a few people that have been difficult to get a hold of, and I've actually tracked down their home numbers. So that's not all that bad. What the difficulty is in them trying to convince their people, their staff people, or the various chairmen that it's probably in their best interest to go ahead and cancel these hearings, or if the witnesses for the hearings have been flown in from out of town or are flying in from out of town, what the weather might do as far as getting them into town, and then what the weather will do as far as keeping them in town or preventing them from leaving town. Those are some of the decisions that are currently being mulled over as far as what hearings will go forth tomorrow and what hearings will in fact be canceled.
You said you were looking at 4 for tomorrow. What are the odds all 4 happen?
Right now I would say it's about a 50-50 shot. We've got 4 hearings. 2 of them are in the morning and 2 of them are in the afternoon. The 2 in the afternoon are start at 2 o'clock and 2:30. I would bet by then there will be enough of the streets cleared up and things will be back to semi-normal enough to where they could get those 2 hearings off if they really wanted to. But again, you also have to look at whether or not staff members are going to be able to get in, whether or not the federal government is working, even though the Senate does not necessarily follow the federal government as far as who works and who doesn't in these kind of situations. You do have people who work in the Senate building itself, and I believe that if the federal government is closed, that those people don't necessarily have to come to work. So if you don't have guys who are cleaning up the halls or opening up the rooms and that kind of thing, then it makes it difficult to have the hearings.
And the federal government has now been closed for several days, right?
The federal government has in fact been closed for 3 days. So I would say that would include last Friday, Monday, and Tuesday. Actually 4 days almost now. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and then last Friday. So I'm thinking that probably the federal government is going to be closed for the rest of the week, and that the House will, the Senate will follow suit with the House and cancel their hearings for the rest of the week. But that's still up in the air as of 11:50 a.m. on Wednesday.
And when all this weather is over and the federal government does go back into business and the House and Senate do come back, is there going to be sort of a catch-up rush, or do you think it's just sort of picking up where they left off as if it never happened?
I believe that there's going to be sort of a catch-up rush, only because we're in what I like to call the budget season right now, where the president has announced his budget, and now cabinet secretaries and various officials are coming up to the Hill and explaining their portions of the budget and why they feel that they need the money that they're asking for. And we've lost about a week's worth of that time, so these people will still have to come up, the cabinet secretaries will still have to come up, still make their cases for why they feel they need the budget for their various departments and whatnot. So I think there's going to be a rush on in about 2 weeks. Next week is I believe there's a recess for the week for President's Day, and so it's another week and a half before Congress is back up and running at full strength. So it's going to be a rush in the last part of February and the first part of March.
Robb Harleston, C-SPAN assignment desk. Thank you.
Thank you.